I ran into a problem when I was pulling this hub off of this is actually off of a 2007 Mazda 5 MPV, but when I pulled off the hub, this is actually part of the bearing that was supposed to come off and remain with the vehicle, but it broke and now it's on the hub. So usually there's an indent here somewhere along the hub where you can fit a puller tool into a groove and then pull this off. But on this vehicle, you can see that bearing mates right up to the surface of the hub. So there's nowhere for the puller to grab onto. So problem solution is take your Dremel, everybody should have a Dremel, and score the bearing here, this part of the bearing, making a groove that your puller can sit in. And then once you make that groove, make 2 grooves, 1 on each side. Don't score the whole thing all the way around, because then you'll just pull off that piece or you potentially will break it. Just score enough so that you can fit the puller into the groove and then attach it and pull it off. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to score about 1/3 over here and then 1/3 over here, and then I'll attach the puller and I'll show you how this will solve the problem and get the part of the bearing that stuck on that hub and remove it. Alright, I'm halfway done and I'll show you how this is working out. As you can see, there's a score now on half of it at least. So, and I'm gonna install it this way so that the flat end of the puller is towards the part I want to pull off. So it's towards the outside, and that'll give it more of a better surface to grab onto. So you can see now that will sit right in there and it'll grab that whole edge and be able to pull it off. So you got to make a pretty big groove, but make sure you don't go all the way through the bearing into the hub. So you got to be careful with that. Once you get one side done, you can kind of attach it, and then on the other side you can see where it's going to contact, and I made a couple little score marks here so I know where to grind down with my Dremel. So I'll continue to do the other side, and then I'll show you how it pulls it right off. Alright, well, that's easy. Here's a little tip. I highly recommend getting these ceramic bits for your Dremel. They are so much better than the little, they also sell, let me see if I have one. No, I have a broken one because they break all the time. They also sell these little cut discs. These things are worthless. They break way too easy. But these ceramic ones work much better. Actually, I used one and it's still got plenty of life left, and it cut through both of the bearing pieces that I had to pull off, no problem. So now you can see that my puller sits perfectly in there. I still have plenty of meat left on the bearing so that it's not going to fall apart when I apply the pressure to it. And now what I'm going to do is, I don't have a perfect piece to sit in there, but I'm just going to use what you got, right? So this is an old brake piston that goes on a caliper, and I'm just going to use that as a a surface to press against. And then when I get it closer to the top, then I'll switch to a different piece that fits more perfectly on here. But by that time it'll be easier to pull. So I'm also going to use some lubrication around the whole thing to make sure it pulls off as easy as possible. And we'll set this in there. And then I'm going to use an old rotor that I have, and I'm going to fit the stub, the lug nut bolts through that, and that'll give me something to stand on, so I can apply a lot of pressure to pull it off with my breaker bar. If you have a torque wrench, that'll probably work as well. I have a torque wrench, but mine's battery powered and it's not powerful enough to pull this off. So let's see how this works. And just spin and spin. Let me see if I can. Alright, so now comes the test. Oh, it's on there. There we go. And you'll definitely feel it when it cracks loose. Yep. Bingo. Now I can see a little bit of daylight. And now I'll just continue. Oh, it's much easier now. There, now I'm all the way up to the top. I'll back that off. Make sure that's tight. Let's show you how it's going. As you can see, it's definitely pulling it away from the hub. So I'll continue to do that. This time you need a piece that will fit so that the bearing piece will come off and it won't catch. So this is just wide enough
so it fits on there without. There we go. And it won't catch. Now it's much easier. Boom. Done. And as you can see, it took that piece completely off.